Welcome back to our train tutorial number 2. In this tutorial I'll show you how basic train signals will work. We'll not get into chain signals at the moment. That will be covered in the next video, I hope. So we still have our basic map here with the town and the industry and our train going from A to B. I removed the diesel station as we won't be needing that at the moment. We just use electrified trains or trams. So we still have our little tram going happily from point A to B, and we now want to increase the capacity by adding a second tram on this track. And that's why we need signals or semaphores to regulate the train flow. We have a simple semaphore, we have a chain semaphore, and we have cancel semaphore. And with each semaphore you get actually more than one option. You can place a semaphore along the track, and if you click again you can turn that into a single-sided train signal. So how these things work is they basically chop up your track from A to B in multiple blocks or sections, and we'll just do that to demonstrate it. We'll just place these along the track, 3, 4. And then we'll watch the train or the signals as the train moves through them. As you can see right now, I'll just leave this on. We've added some nice arrows to help you along the way. And the train is now in this block here at the train station. So that signal going that to the right, that way, is red. And as soon as the train enters this block, the ingoing signal becomes red, and so on, and it follows the train through. Of course, the next signal becomes green again, and a train coming from the other side would actually go through all these signals until it ends up at a red signal, and then the trains would be faced head to head, and that's not what we want. So we'll remove these for now, and I'll show you how it's done. As you can see here, trains are a little bit stupid. That one just lost its way. Now it's refound its way. In the old version, that was a really big problem, especially on very long tracks with multiple intersections and signals. So that's a lot better in this version, which is, I think, the 0.7 version. And now let's go to the depot. We have our little tram here already, and we want to copy the program from that tram to that tram. In order to do so, we of course have to get the tram out of the station, because we can't just click the copy schedule and then click the tram inside the station, actually this schedule. So we can't do this and open that tram. So we have to get it out first. We just use the add new stop for the new tram and enter a simple route from A to B. Nothing's programmed in here yet, and we of course have to get it out of the station. I already placed a semaphore right in front of the station, so once we hit start, the tram will come out. If you don't have this, the tram will actually continue to the stations, and then these will head face to face and cause problems along the way. The trains will actually resolve that, but it takes a very, very long time, and you won't be able to transport resources or workers in any manner that's working. So we get it out by hitting start, and the train comes out and stops at this signal, because this side of the signal is blocked by this train. And then we can go to the program train, click copy schedule, click this train, and it copies everything over here. Once we look in here, you can see students and passengers have been omitted, and the unload button as well. So it's exactly the same. Now we can close this. So the first thing we can do to get multiple trains on a track is actually use both sides of the station. And in order to do this, we just connect the second side with the main track. Go straight for a little bit and then connect to the main track, because we have to have a little bit space for a signal here. And then we add just 2 signals on each side of the track. so each train knows when this side of the track is blocked and the other side is open. So right now the whole track here is blocked. This train is patiently waiting for its green signal, and as soon as that tram enters the other station, this one will continue on its track, and the other one will stop at the train signal and wait for it to get along. I'll just make this a little faster so you don't have to wait so long. Well, come on. Now it's green, and that train is happily going along. This one's loading up, and it should be ready any second. It heads to the signal, stops there, and this train will happily go to the station. This is a kind of good setup if you have lots of people going to stations, but it's not really getting a good flow of people to your workplaces or schools or shops, because it always takes this train to go there and back again, and then this train over there, and in the meantime you might lose passengers on this train because after a while they just vanish into thin air. So to make this a little bit more optimal, I usually place little places where the trains can take over each other, and you just do this like this, and then you add signals. But before you add signals, I'll show you how to do it right. If you just add signals like this, the problem is the trains often end up in a head-to-head position. So a train will enter, let's say, this upper track, and the other one is already waiting here because it had a green signal up to this light, and then the trains are locked in position. To do this better, you have to make this into a circular pattern, and you can just, as I said before, click this semaphore and change that to a single-sided one. So this one's facing to the left and is now red, and you do this for both ends, and the other one you do in the opposite direction, facing to the right. That way the train coming from the right always enters the bottom, and the train coming from the left always enters the top side. In Russia, I believe the trains always went on the left side of the track, and I think the devs have actually programmed this a little bit into the train system here in the game, so I always do it to the left-hand side just to be on the safe side. In the older version it was actually more noticeable. In the newer version I don't think this is a problem anymore. So now we can start our trains up again, and as you can see, the left one will enter the top, the bottom one will enter the bottom, and as soon as it is in the middle, the top one will leave the station, or the takeover station. So if you have a long track going, let's say, from the middle of the map over to a foreign station, then you can have multiples of these and get multiple trains going on the track. This setup over here is of course good if you have, let's say, a steelworks where the trains often end up at the train station waiting a long time until they're loaded. So you can have multiple trains waiting until they're full, and these along the way to have multiple trains on one track. That saves you a lot of money instead of building 2 or 3 tracks next to each other. So that's it basically for today. There was a little bit a problem with these multiple station uses. So the older gamers of you will notice that this works now. It used to be a problem because trains would also end up head-to-head, but that has been resolved. The solution to that was always to put a double station here and a double signal here and a single signal on the tracks, and that would free it up. But now it's no longer a problem and you don't have to worry about it. So that's it for now, and as always, happy gaming and see you soon. Like and subscribe. Bye bye.